This was Hollywood 70 years ago, when the movies were young and silent. The talking picture hadn't yet been invented, and the films of the day were often fast, furious, and funny. At that time, they were making one comedy film every few days, and studio activity like this was commonplace. Everything depended on action. Numerous short comedies, it was Metro Studios who finally gave him his big break in 1920. He was to produce his own films at last. Here's one made in 1921, The Playhouse. Buster plays a stagehand. The script was based on the experiences from his music hall days. Buster's problems start when a pair of twins come to the theatre for an audition. Buster doesn't see that there are two girls, so after he shows one of them to a dressing room, he's astonished to find the girl is there again. But it is, of course, the identical twin. Watch how he builds joke after joke on the single fact that there are two girls. This is all too much for Buster, but things get even more complicated when a couple of mirrors are delivered. We now appear to have two pairs of identical twins and three Buster Keatons. Meanwhile, the show must go on, and what I haven't told you is that the stage manager has it in for Buster, so he has to be on his toes the whole time. When Buster picks up the sledgehammer, it doesn't take the audience long to realize that he isn't part of the act. 10,000 gallons of water flood the theatre, and in the middle of this chaos, Buster, ever the hero, rescues the drowning swimmer. But the stage manager is still after Buster. He escapes from his enemy in a most inventive way. Now a completely different comedy approach. In Daydreams, Buster has told his girlfriend that he's in a big city, doing well and mixing with top people, having a sweeping success. Today, the city is providing a ticker-tape welcome for the new mayor. This means more work for Buster. The only way to get rid of the mess is to light a little bonfire. It begins to get out of hand. The little bonfire becomes a slightly bigger bonfire. Buster finds a fire hose, and this is the final straw that turns a day of celebration into one of utter chaos. In the same year that he made Daydreams, 1922, he made The Blacksmith. In this film, he plays a blacksmith's assistant with illusions that he's working in a high-class shoe shop. To him, the horse is a real customer. Unbelievably, it looks as if Buster's client is used to such first-class treatment. Buster is certainly having trouble finding a pair of shoes to the customer's liking. Still no success for Buster, until the horse spots in a glass case the latest fashions. At last, a perfect fit and the latest style. Buster has another satisfied customer. You may have noticed that Buster's character is totally expressionless. He never acknowledges what's going on around him. He was nicknamed the Great Stone Face, but we found a rare film of Buster made before he perfected this style of comedy. It's called Coney Island and was shot on location at New York's famous fun fair. It was said of the film, Keaton laughed, a mistake that was not to be repeated. Buster has a problem. He's no money to take his girlfriend into the fairground. Enter actor St. John. He has no financial problems, and Buster is left out in the cold. Notice the look of anguish and disappointment on his face. Buster has an idea. He arrives just in time to see his girlfriend getting onto the Witching Waves attraction. Having spent years in the theatre, Buster knew how to fall. Buster's girlfriend begins to feel a little seasick, but they must keep moving. Meanwhile, Buster is heading for another spectacular fall. So this was the last time that Buster gave any facial reaction of his feelings. How was Buster able to manage that amazing leap with such ease? Well, remember I did say earlier that Keaton had been on the stage since the age of 3, so he'd been taught all the tricks of the trade by his father. If you're going to be an acrobat, the first thing you need to know is how to fall. So for Buster, it was easy. Buster prepares to somersault into the other car. Not an easy stunt. If he makes a mistake, he could break his back or injure St. John. At normal speed, it all looks so delightfully straightforward. Buster concentrated on using a style of comedy that would be unique to him. The Great Stone Face had succeeded beyond his wildest dreams. In 1921, he made 7 20-minute comedies. That's a brand new film every 6 or 7 weeks. What made him different was his great inventiveness. In our next film, The Balloonatic, Buster is on a fishing holiday, and he uses anything that comes to hand to get a laugh. Buster's canoe has been designed to overcome any problems that may occur. Little does he know it, but he is about to shoot the rapids. Will Buster drown? Will he survive this disaster? Buster's girlfriend comes to the rescue, but she's obviously better at cooking than rescuing. It looks as if Buster is lost, but he does, of course, come up trumps in the end. In the boat, Buster has built his own motor cruiser, but he finds that his pride and joy is too big to go through the garage doors. It doesn't look as if the Damfino will ever make its maiden voyage. Down at the dockside, there's no reason to believe that things are going to be any easier. Yes, that's a real Model T Ford that's gone to a watery grave. Buster had no idea how difficult it was to launch a boat. It looked so easy in the newsreels. At last, they're ready for the launch. Oh well, back to the drawing board. That film gave Buster a lot of problems because the boat wouldn't sink completely. In those days, the director was responsible for his own special effects. Luckily, Keaton had some knowledge of mechanical engineering. To be funny, the boat had to go straight down, but no matter what they did, it wouldn't sink smoothly. In the end, they had to fix a pulley on the dock and tow the boat underwater by a tug that was out of picture. Buster Keaton went on making films throughout the 20s, going from the two-reeler to the full-length feature films. Sadly, perhaps he wasn't as popular when the talking movies came in and was almost forgotten, making only cameo appearances since the middle 30s. But in later years, his films were rediscovered, and Paramount Pictures made a biography of his life in 1957, so when he died in 1966, he was remembered for zany moments like those contained in our last film, Cops. Here, Buster has interrupted the mayor's parade and is on the run. 300 policemen are after him, and he manages to outsmart the entire city's police force. Magical moments indeed. Buster's girlfriend isn't very pleased with what he's done. So after that grand chase, there's only one thing to do. Give himself up. See you next week.